Hey there, Midnighters and Moonlighters. This is your closer-in-chief, back with a quick check-in. Tonight's shift is a little closer to our original idea for the podcast. Less doomsday, proper survivalist vibes, more random break room banter that keeps the mind busy while the shift drags on. Big Smoke and I kill time waiting for Jolly Green's return, enjoying the brief peace from management while they help find Jolly and his family. So feel free to kick back, relax, and join us for tonight's shift. Chief dies at the end. Wait, what? Hey, if you've ever gotten stuck choosing between your 5th PB&J sandwich or what was left over of day shift's employee appreciation meal for lunch, hit those like and subscribe buttons. This one's for you. What do you mean I die at the end? Welcome to Nightwatch. We're here with Chief and Big Smoke, just doing the twofer today. Our good buddy Jolly Green's out of town for the week, living it up with his family.
Yeah, God bless him.
Yeah, he's somewhere with his toes in the sand right now, and
he better be. He damn well better be.
Well, we asked him before when he was planning the trip. He said he was going find a nice little fishing spot and just
but beyond that, he didn't. I mean, it's great. He didn't have a clue at what they were going to do. He was just, right. I'm going because more reasons.
Tagging along with the family.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, sometimes that's what.
I mean, how great is that? I mean,
I haven't done anything like that. I mean, I did, the seasonal work stuff, but like as far as family trips, we talked about family trips before. We would go out to the local state park, and we would go do camping trips and stuff.
Right.
But it wasn't anything that was this big plan. It was just whenever my dad got a couple of weeks off from work, because he had paid time off leave, but he only got a couple of weeks a year, and he would always use it in the summertime with us. So, you do summer things. Go camping, you go ahead and,
Didn't do anything like that. My family, when we did anything, it was like get-togethers. It wasn't like family outings. We did get-togethers, and we went to go see my uncle and his family, crap with them. And then I go to my favorite aunt. She was a New York police officer, and everything was big and everything was like bold and bam, bam. It was just fun hanging out with her, but as family outings at home, they worked and I did school or whatever, adjacent trouble I could get myself in because I was in a bad neighborhood. But none of the family gathering stuff. I mean, very little, to the point where it was like almost non-existent. I mean, I didn't do that kind of stuff. Now, I did tag along with families who did do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Kind of like it just inserted myself. Oh, you guys are going to the beach? Oh, well, mind if I tag along and we go to the beach? And I'm like, oh, crap, this is what families do at the beach? Holy shit. This is amazing. I'll have another hot dog. Yes. Yes. I didn't have that. I was so jealous of some of these families. And only to find out these families were just as fucked up as mine was.
Yeah.
But just in different aspects.
Yeah. You get that outward appearance, and then you get, what it's like at home. Everybody has that mask that they wear out in public, and then,
Yeah, public persona versus the private stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a real glimpse. One of my buddies, man, his family seemed like it was picture perfect. Then like getting into our 20s and stuff, I find out, dad is fucking everything. I mean, he is a hound dog, and it's not even a secret. I mean, and I'm like, wow. And then it blows up in a spectacular fashion, and everybody's like numb because the effect was so Chernobyl. And I'm like, damn. My parents are still together. I thought my shit was fucked up, but your parents are, wow. I don't know what to think. And then like talking to each one of them, right? Because I'm still good friends with both of them. And I'm like, damn, dude, how you been? I can't get out of my mind all the stupid shit you did as a father and a husband, but how you doing, though, man? And And of course, the mom is like way past her prime. You know, she was a beautiful lady when I was like, 13, 14 years old. And I was like, God, dude. 13-year-old fantasies, man. And now she's this quite broken old lady who's lonely. And like, it's like she's desperate for you to come around and say, hey, how you doing? And she's not doing shit but sitting in her room watching Days of Our Lives and, as the world turns and stuff,
Well, now a lot of them are watching those Korean dramas.
Yeah, she's and I feel bad. On the other end, it's like, God, I know that she was doing like really stupid shit that made her hound dog her husband go chasing tail because, she was trying to ration it, If a guy can get booty, he's going to go get booty. So it's not a good idea to go, well, I'm not going to give you the booty tonight. You're like, what do you mean you're not going to give me the booty tonight? I'm going to get the booty. I don't care what. Booty is out there. I'm going to get the booty.
It's one of those things they've been talking about a lot recently because people are starting to point out, you get this whole generation of women that are told, basically weaponize sex, right?
Right.
That's the tool you got in your back pocket and front pocket to, take on the world with, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, they control, they manipulate, they lie, cheat, and steal. But talking about the sex robots, back on our first episode, right? There was a bunch of women in the public eye that were very adamant about, men are going to be turning away from women now because they're just going to be fucking these robots and everything. It's like, if you think that that's the only thing you have to offer,
you're in trouble.
Yeah, so I understand the insecurity there, but like, real women, they have a bit more to offer than just sex. And if you're going to weaponize it, that defeats the entire purpose of the relationship. Not the entire purpose, but one of the main things, intimacy. A good relationship is built off of a core foundation of trust, communication, and intimacy.
Sometimes you just want to hold hands and cuddle, sit down and watch some people. Yeah, but can't do that with a sex robot. People are just going to look at you weird.
I mean, you can, and I'm sure there will be people that do it eventually.
Dude, man, that guy's going to be famous the first time he walks into a public atmosphere and he's got the sex robot, obvious sex robot walking down the street with, he's going to.
Well, there's already the guys that go out with the fucking body pillows, it's.
Yeah.
So inanimate objects. I mean, hell, there was there was that documentary that was talking about people with weird fetishes, and there was a guy that was in love with his car. I think there was a guy that married his car.
Married his car.
It's
he had a red Camaro. I mean, I remember seeing something like that. It's like it is a sickness.
It is a sickness.
It is a sickness. I'm a hound dog. I make no bones about it. But I mean, I like women. I mean, I want women.
Don't get me wrong, that car had some nice curves, but
the car is sleek. It is polished. It has got a good wax job on it. Woo, that's a nice car. But nah, dude, it's got to be a woman for me, man. That's a sickness. I mean, he's got no friends. His buddies let him down.
Right? Yeah,
dude, what are you doing kissing the hood of the? Hey, are you using tongue? You can't use, dude.
I don't care how comfortable the leather seats are.
Dude,
draw the line.
Why are you trying to hug this car? Nah. We got to do something about this.
I don't care how warm that tailpipe gets.
Yeah, that's what you say. Hey, what is that? And you just pop him over the head with a bat, poof, and then take him to the nearest center, and have him tied up and look at funny pictures on the screen. What do you feel when you see this picture? I mean, that's what you need to do with guys like that. But like you said.
But you get these women that are weaponizing sex and rejection. And you have, you have an entire generation of men now being raised under some like very specific stat where it's like men are working 220% harder for women that aren't worth 15% of what their grandmothers and mothers were worth.
It's like these incredible imbeciles who are giving money, to OnlyFans.
I think the word you're looking for is incels.
Yeah, I don't care what you call them. I am so removed from that. I don't even know how much these guys are spending for the accounts and stuff. But if it's more than Netflix, I'm not paying it. Right. And I routinely cancel my Netflix subscription when I'm not watching it. So what do these dudes sitting there day after day putting how many? I don't even. How much do they pay a month for that stuff?
I mean, it depends. From my understanding,
Oh, what?
Whoever the model is sets the price range. It's just like just like with Patreon and other subscriptions.
I went through my Pornhub phase, but I didn't pay for it. I mean, it was free. I didn't pay for it.
I don't know that I would ever want to meet somebody who paid for Pornhub.
That's content that I wouldn't even want to delve into.
Right. Again, that goes back into it's a sickness. There are people that are just
I mean,
got a problem.
But see, for me, it wasn't even the sickness because I'm like, I prefer the real thing. I mean, watching it, okay, that's okay. Like, Susan is right down the street. I can go get Susan. I don't need to be looking at Pornhub. Like 2 Coors Lights, and I'm down with Susan.
Although price of Coors Lights nowadays.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but nah. I mean, and these guys are giving up this money, and just to see the girl on screen lie to you. It's like worse than, it's even worse than strippers. I mean, that's another reason why I don't go to stripper clubs, because you're like sitting there seeing some girl gyrating, sweaty and glitter and that really bad perfume.
But so again, it comes back around to that rejection. These guys are paying out money, and so they're getting what they're asking for. They're not being told no. They're not getting that rejection. So that's why they're going through that route.
But your initial release is not met. Men are beyond the, I want attention, I want to be noticed. Women can do that. Women, in fact, they do that quite well. They present themselves to the broader public so they will be noticed, so they can reject you outright.
Mm-hmm. But they don't ever want to be in a position to be rejected.
Yeah, but see, guys pay money to notice something and have some person on the other side of the screen lie to them for however long that they're on that subscription page. Then what? You click the button off, and then you're still left with that yearning that you did not get.
Yeah, there's no emotional fulfillment because, again, there's no intimacy.
If you're getting a serotonin hit from that,
diminishing returns.
Yeah, sorry, dude. There's not enough lotion in the shower for that. You need a heartbeat. You need someone smiling up at you or down at you, depending on your preference. You need that proximity. Sorry, man, that's hard. That's hardwired into the system.
Mm-hmm.
I messed up. I want to know how much OnlyFans is, because I don't even know. I'm working at a deficit. I don't know how much that shit costs. Shit. Now we got to find out how much that shit costs.
Like I said, it depends on the models. A lot of them, not a lot of them, but the ones that are just starting out, they'll set it either at a very low cost, or they'll even do a free subscription, and then it's price per content.
I'm gonna laugh if that shit's like $5.99.
Some of them are, yeah. It's
So
yeah, remember it's one of those things where it's kind of like with YouTube content, where it's only really like the top small percentage that are actually making significant money. The ones that you see that are like influencers and they're buying houses outright in cash at 18, 19 years old, that kind of thing. Yeah, those are like the top 1% earners.
And the rest are making like $200 a month. I get that. Okay, this is an oversaturated market, which means that apples to apples, your boobies just wasn't good enough. I mean, it weren't good enough. I mean, I've seen better. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, there's not enough gyrating on the world. I mean, it wasn't wide enough. It wasn't pink enough. It wasn't big enough. Well, your lips aren't poofy enough. Something put you at that $5.99. I bet you it's a $5.99.
So again, it's an oversaturated market, so you have to have novelty, right? So you have to have something that sets you apart from the rest.
Dressing up like a little furry fox, perhaps.
Comes down to how are you catering to your audience, right? It's an entertainment gig. It's advertising, it's networking, it's a lot of background stuff that goes into running a successful page.
I don't care. I'm not doing it.
Not to justify, but yeah, like I said, it's the ones that put the work in. That
You see, and I'm a gloriously fat bastard, so I know my access to women is specific. I tend to get the broken ones. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, many of the girls that I hang out with, they're not top tier and they're not keepers. And it's like, okay, I've used this enough. I'm gonna put this back on the shelf for a while. I don't Okay, I know that.
That's also your preference because you yourself are emotionally stunted.
I'm stunted. Yeah. I am broken. Also, game recognizes game. I'm not, but I'm not paying $5.99 to get that booty. I mean, I go out and get the booty. That's
a $20 bottle of wine. $15 Netflix subscription.
If I really like you, sure. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, it's kind of like with a Jeff Foxworthy. Do you want to? Yeah. All right. I mean, that's how it's gonna go. I mean, I'm not. No. I'm not. The whole idea of paying out of pocket for a maybe.
Right, that's the other thing too. Is again, you have all these guys that are putting out all this money, and they still get rejected.
Right, and OnlyFans is like you're paying out money to look.
Yeah, well, the ones that pay even more money to do more than look, I feel like are a bit more.
They got like a virtual interface or something.
No, there are some people that end up meeting these models. There was a big story where it was a guy dropped. I want to say it was like somewhere in the ballpark of $15,000.
Holy crap.
Plus the plane ticket to fly out to her.
Well, not even in the same state?
Yeah, no, this was a very long distance trip.
Well, wait a minute. Because due to those Diddy court files, that's illegal. You can't fly people out.
Well, he had to pay his own ticket to fly out to her. Mind you, he paid her for the privilege to buy his own plane ticket to fly out to meet her, to take her out on a date. And the most he got out of it was a hug and a thank you for being my top contributor. And then out the door you go. So that she can go back to banging her boyfriend.
This is how people get killed. I'm serious. This is how people get killed.
I would say, if you think that the Jeffrey Dahmer would be making a killing right now, I mean, he would be on there.
And what's messed up is that people would jump into the bed with that guy with both feet.
Mm-hmm. He'd be hauling him in like a fucking shrimping net.
And dude would be killing and eating. No. No.
There'd be people out there paying to be eaten,
Yeah, I couldn't do it. My diminished returns wouldn't allow it. You don't like me? Cool. There's another broken lady, like not 10 feet from you, that I can make a play for.
Remember, Big Smoke, that's what self-confidence looks like. That's what security and masculinity looks like.
And why go to OnlyFans? There's girls dressing around out here with half naked. You can get your looky jollies just going down the street.
Looky jolly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a better way to say that, really.
I mean,
see, so now we also enter into the realm of, side effects of things like excessive porn watching or movie watching and, trying to learn how the world works from watching movies and shows and stuff, right? You have all these people that, again, the extent of their social interactions is maybe what they learned in school. And then you have the homeschooled kids that didn't even get that. Issue is that you have this idea that, you have this right to, look at people just because they're in the public or they're displaying themselves a certain way. And while I have a personal preference for modesty, there is I'm sure you probably already know where I'm going with this, with the Bible passage of, if thy eye offends, pluck it out.
Plug it out.
So it's kind of one of those things of, yes, there are people out in public. They're allowed to be out in public. Should they be dressed that way? No. Should you take advantage of them for dressing that way? No.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe. Look, okay. Even the most naive aren't that stupid. You're doing it for attention. She just didn't like attention. Attention. Yeah, she just didn't like the fat bastard's attention. She wanted the Brad Pitt attention. She wanted, some even like the Tom Cruise attention. I mean, he's a little short, but hey, dude's a multimillionaire, and he is a sprinter like nobody's. I wish I could run like that, man.
Oh my God, he is with every movie.
Every movie, that boy is
just running.
He's fleet-footed, so they want that attention. They want the LeBron James attention. They want who's another one? The Chris Hemsworth attention. They want that attention. Fat bastard attention? No, they don't want that. Greasy truck driver attention? No, they don't want that. Road worker attention? Nah, they don't want that. So they broadcast to everybody, but then they want to try to selectively segregate those that they want to have that longing gaze on them.
Well, Big Smoke, weren't you just saying something similar about there being a certain type of woman that you have a preference for and tend to cling on to?
Well, that's true.
You,
yeah. Look, there's a certain preference of the women that I can get. Not, I mean,
but you put yourself out there for everybody.
Now, let's keep it a buck. If I could get Sydney Sweeney every day of the week, I'd get Sydney Sweeney. But there's no way fat bastard like myself is gonna get Sydney Sweeney. There's no way I'd get her. So I gotta get the pleasantly plump, maybe, teeth missing, perhaps. I mean, like emotionally traumatized. So definitely, I mean, I get what I get. That is, and for the least amount of money, I don't want to go broke.
So I gotta keep it in the black somehow.
I gotta be in the black. Why are you looking at me like that? I mean, come on. It's just
because I got a lazy eye, man.
That is the way it is.
No,
I know my lane.
I'm not arguing the point. In fact, I'm just trying to figure out the best way that I can try to not agree with you. I mean, because my biggest issue isn't that we've discussed before, I don't hunt, I fish, right?
Yes.
Again, it's basically the same concept. Whatever I can get.
Yeah, I got it. That's awesome the way you do that.
But it tends to draw on a certain type of attraction from a certain type of person or a certain type of women.
That's for damn sure.
When you come off as somewhat stable and confident, it's you're a safe factor. I am I don't attract the broken ones. I attract the ones that are still hurting. The still cracking at the edges. They're not quite to your tier yet. They're still in the junior bush leagues.
Give them 5 years. I got you, baby. I got you.
And the sad part, and I do not have a savior complex or anything like that. We've discussed before. I got a little bit of that.
Got a cape.
I got a cape. But it's, for the longest time, yes, I wanted to. I thought if I was, helping somebody out, helping fix them, that they were doing the same for me, it's kind of that cohesion through repairing together. It's repairing together, growing together, right? But obviously that doesn't work out. Sometimes you just end up with some busted off pieces and some glass splinters and paper glue.
Little schizophrenia.
It happens.
It happens. And I saw it in real time. I'm like, oh, the world is ending, all right. like, shit, is my gun loaded? God. This chick don't come back. I swear to God. If she comes back, it's not a good deal. And man, was I right?
Yeah.
Was I right?
Yeah, you were right.
And then they came to me. I'm like, bitch, why are you coming to me? I didn't break your fucking heart. Go away.
Well, because you also exude that safe and confident, the non-toxic masculine energy.
I'm very toxic masculine.
Well, you are, but you don't exude it, though.
Yeah.
You hide it well.
Like every person that we work with, I mean, I don't hide it, but I got rules, and I think that's what the safe part comes out.
Yeah,
like they know it's like, okay, all women that I work with, they're off limits.
Yeah,
no baby mamas, and I don't mess with anybody who is related to somebody that I know. I don't mess with any of those. So I guess that will put me in the safe category at work.
Yeah, you're not after them like some kind of rabid dog.
Yeah, I'm not chasing it. I mean, I like working, and I don't want HR to be on my back. I don't.
Why we have the rules in place at most workplaces is no fraternization or nothing.
Yeah, but most guys, and I shouldn't say most guys, because some of the guys that we work with, they're 26, 27, and they're virgins. So for the guys who actually they're not G enough to get booty outside of work. Work is where they hunt.
Well, and we've talked about that before too. It comes down to society doing away with the third place.
Right.
So you got, for those listeners at home, you got your first place, which is your home. That's your base of operation. That is where you go to rest and relax. You have your second place, which is work or school, and that's where you're going to educate, to learn, to make money. And, you have your first place, second place. The third place is supposed to be the spot in the community where people come together recreationally and socially in a non-threatening environment. It used to be things like it was church, it was community centers, your local playgrounds and parks, book clubs, libraries, block parties and movie watch clubs. And they did such a good job of driving us all indoors and staying there, that the only socializing people are getting nowadays is either online or at work. Work, for most people, has had to take on the burden of becoming the third place for some people. And so, for some people, for a lot of people, the only socializing face-to-face that you're getting is with people you work with. And there is such a wide variety and dynamic of people that you can run into that you work with. Especially in our line of work,
holy crap. Sometimes you really are walking a tread wire, depending on the medication some of these women are taking.
Well, not even just the women either. Some of the guys that we've had to deal with in the workplace. It's funny watching you circumnavigate the social cues and dynamics that are present today, because you just don't give a fuck. It's a weird power move from an otherwise considered marginal group. It's like they're trying to figure out some way. It's like their version of anarchy, right?
Yeah, but it's worldwide, though.
Their version of rebellion.
Yeah, but it's worldwide.
Yeah, it's a generational thing.
Yeah, it's just, it's...
Well, look at the world that we live in, right? I'm a generation below you, right? You're Gen X, I'm a millennial. And I grew up in a world right on the teetering edge of where I was still being told, if you go to school, work hard, you'll make something of yourself. Well, I, got out of high school, tried to go to college, couldn't afford to get into college. So I went in the Air Force. Air Force didn't work out. So I, went into the workforce, out in the labor world. And I bounced around 12 to 15 different jobs. I worked hard. But every year you had to work a little bit harder to make something of yourself, or you had to stick it around in one spot long enough. And, that gets difficult whenever you have mentality of questioning and being skeptical of things. The moment that great unveiling of the lie that my generation was told. And the sad part is it wasn't even a lie. It worked for the past however many generations, so much of society was merit-based. And now there's been this massive divide, this massive, not a wage gap, but the upper class and the middle class has almost entirely disappeared. So now it's basically you're either in poverty, just barely scraping out of poverty, or you're uber wealthy. You try to get the power back wherever you can, however you can. And some people are taking it in the form of, I'm going
identity stuff.
Identity, because, again, you have this desire to impose your will on
others, yeah.
And you can't do that if you don't actually have power. It's like that Simpsons thing. If you ever try going mad without power, nobody listens to you.
Yeah, I get that. And I'm like 90% there with you. But every person that I know in my generation who went into a profession, not a job, but a profession.
An actual career,
employment, they're doing well. Without exception, all of them. There's a few PAs I know, and lawyers, lots of lawyers that I know.
Well, that was the big thing. Yeah, lawyers and doctors. That
was the big thing in the 80s, being a lawyer or a doctor. A couple of pharmacists. This is incredibly racist. You ready? There's this one kid. He's an Indian. He was an Indian. Mom and dad, thank God they got their papers, because they did literally come off the boat. But then, they immediately hired some slick back lawyer and paid like ungodly amounts of thousands of dollars and got green cards, and then became citizens. They had a bunch of kids. This cat I know, he's got like 4 siblings. They all own 7-Elevens.
They each own multiple?
They own each one. Well, he owns 2 himself, but each one of his brother and his younger sister, they all own 7-Elevens. The mom and dad worked at a 7-Eleven, and they basically broke their necks working at 7-Eleven. And then as soon as he was old enough to sweep a broom, him and his brothers and his sister, they were sweeping brooms and working. And all of them worked at one 7-Eleven. Then they bought that 7-Eleven. And then they paid all their cash into that 7-Eleven and then bought another 7-Eleven. And it just rinse and repeat.
Yeah, and I mean, how many people could do that now?
Nobody, probably. But what I'm saying is that work hard and you'll be able to. They just did the deed. Most people are too lazy to do the deed to make that kind of fruit grow from that tree that you plant. I mean, you can't just plant the tree. You gotta water it, and you gotta peel out all the weeds, and then you gotta kill all those nasty pests who want to like burrow holes in your tree until the tree is big enough to say, "Fuck you, I'm a tree."
You said the magic buzzword. One of my favorite ones. I call my generation lazy.
I mean, even me. I mean, I did it the lazy way. I knew from the jump that I was not a college kid. I knew I barely made it through high school. So I went into the service, and I really liked the service. Almost as good as government work. I mean, just go attack that tree. Yes, sir. Attack the tree. All right. You attack the tree. I could do that easy. I did that every day. It was great. But for a lot of people, they can't even do that. They can't do that because while you're subject to the whims of someone who's got there before you, that's basically what this service is. Whoever got there before you, whether they dumb or a genius, they tell you what to do and you do it. Some people, even in that aspect, they can't do it because they feel, well, I don't know. I'm an American citizen. I don't think I have to go attack that tree. Maybe it's Tuesday and I don't want to attack the tree. And I was like, no, fool, attack the damn tree. And they can't do it. That's what I'm seeing. I mean, from everyone that was behind me in the service, I'm like, how the hell did this ninja get past boot camp? He can't do 50 push-ups.
Right.
He can barely pee standing up. I mean, who the hell is this kid?
Can't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. Yeah.
Trips and falls on his face. And then gets bubblegum all in his hair. It's like...
But to put it in perspective, right? So, like I said, you said that magic buzzword of being lazy. You've been working with me for about 3 years now.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah. Would you say I'm lazy?
Hell no.
But I'm not. I don't own the shop we work in.
Nope.
And I've put more than a decade into that place. I've put time in. I've put hard work.
I've seen more than one person try to tear you down. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm still
you're there, and they're not.
I got those roots planted.
You're a tree because they couldn't. You had that. Fuck you. I'm a tree because I'm here, baby. I've been planted. I've had the good water and the good soil. My roots go deep.
I mean, now part of that is a touch of the tism, and I get locked into my routines. So I kind of almost have a blessing and a curse there, in that I excel at tedium and monotonous tasks and rhythm and routine.
Hell yeah. I mean, this is a prime example of what we're doing from start to finish. How to set the process up, how to do editing, all of that stuff. You learned that in a week.
Yeah.
A week.
I'm about to get another week off too. So,
and like I said, most people who are doing what we're doing right now, it took them years to get where you got to in a week.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I mean, I don't possess that kind of focus, and so I gotta clap my hands to it, because I mean, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
That's fair. I mean,
that's me ass kissing people. Yes, I mean, game recognizes game.
I made this job so much easier for him. I mean, he showed up today. The microphones were set up.
Yeah, I didn't even have to help with the setup today. I was like, "Oh, things are done. What's this, coffee? Oh crap! Oh shit, there's sugar in it. Oh God! I mean,
just wait. If I get a little bit more space in the room, and I'll have a nice little snack bar set up, a little vending machine.
It was spoiled in it."
But it's one of those things of, I got locked into not a singular focus, right? It wasn't, I need to figure out how to do podcasting well. It was, I need to figure out how to do podcasting well because I want to set up a studio. I want to start the business. I want to, not just get big on YouTube. I want us to be successful entertainers. It circles back around to one of the biggest passions that I eventually found in my life, which is storytelling. I want to be successful storytelling. It is something that I have found so much joy and passion in. It's one of the main reasons why I have several of my closest friends. Literally started working with them in the shop we're working in now years ago, but we already had the similar interest of, hey, we're gonna roll some dice and play some tabletop games, and that took off. And we have been stuck together since, in the best way possible. So I found that joy in something, but I didn't find that until about 2015, so almost 10 years ago. So I was 25 or 24, give or take, somewhere in there. Time has no real meaning, but so
tell me about it.
But so I was hitting that age where all the doctors and scientists say that that's where you start actually hitting maturity level. Your brain finally stops developing and your body starts dying right around 25. Right, that's when everything kind of clicks into place. That's when you've reached maturity.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I really did have so many different interests, and I had nothing that was ironed down as a very specific thing that I would ever consider being passionate about. I mean, hell, the job that I'm in now, I took it on as a summer job because I thought I was going to use it to try to get into school with, and it just ended up being better for me to stay where I was at. But I learned a lot from that. It's finding the things you're passionate about and then figuring out the small baby steps in between to get to the goal that you set. So you can't just be passionate about things. There are plenty of people with passion out there, but don't know how to set the goals. Whenever I did life coaching, not as a life coach, but a friend of mine was getting into life coaching and he gave me free life coaching, right? So one of the big things that we did, besides the gratitudes and affirmations, two biggest things, be grateful for what you have and affirm that you can get what you're after. The next biggest thing that I just really focused on and took to heart was setting goals. And you get so much out of the goal setting because now you have something that you're working towards that with measurable amounts of success.
Benchmarking, huh?
Yes, and it releases the dopamine, and that's what I need is the dopamine. I'm constantly chasing the dopamine. So now I've figured out a way to structure and build a ladder that is constantly little drops and sometimes little bursts of dopamine. And now
ADHD. How do you say it without saying ADHD? Look, man. I got to see it. I got to see it in real time. I was my main question every time we saw each other. I'm like, when did you sleep doing all this? This is a lot. I mean, it was a worried look on my face. I'm going, holy crap.
Usually sometime between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m.
I just saw you 9 hours ago, and you said you did all this, and then you're kind of looking at me. I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna drink like 5 Red Bulls tonight or 5 Monsters tonight. And sure enough, I'm counting. I'm like, oh, he's on number 3, and it's not even 11 o'clock. Holy hell, his heart's gonna explode. And I'm not gonna save his life because that's slobber involved, and I'm not doing the slobber.
Well, they say that mouth isn't as effective as chest compression.
Chest compression. Yeah. Well, yeah, but you know how many CPR certifications I've been through? I stopped counting at 10.
I've only had 3. Self-aid body care and basic training. I was first aid certified at the gas and oil field dispatch job and somewhere else. I can't remember which job.
Every 6 months since 2004. Every 6 months. Got recertified, and you saw the evolution. It went from breath, 10 compressions, breath, 10 compressions, then it became breath, and then 30 compressions, and then breath, and then it became breath, and then it was compression, 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 breath, compression, compression, and then it's like one breath, and then it's just all compressions after that, and then it's like you just keep doing it because what they were finding is like no matter how many times you do the compressions, when you breathe into somebody, you're destroying yourself. I mean, physically, because that takes a lot to force oxygen into another body that's actively resisting. That diaphragm does not give.
Yeah,
you gotta force that air in. And
that's the reason why they say if you're breaking a rib, you're doing it right.
Yeah, and so then like you're half delirious because you breathe and then like you get all dizzy.
Now you can't keep up with the compressions.
Where was I? Oh yeah, 31, 32. No. Now they're just saying, hey, breathe one and just keep pumping. Because the body was probably just, it's after 2.5 minutes, you're looking at a vegetable. You're not really looking at a person.
Well, there's always exceptional cases.
Okay, yeah. Now there are, I've seen some of the brain scans. It's like the rest of the freaking brain is liquid and it's like just this little knot of viable mass. But somehow that person's soul, I guess, has just made use of that little mass, and this dude is doing 4-digit math, and really he should be dribbling in a corner or something, sucking, his fluids through a straw. but he's an active working person, and he really shouldn't be.
Yeah, it really goes to show
but that person, not very, I should say, common.
Yeah, they're not writing the books. They're not rewriting the books around that person.
That is very much the exception, not the rule. Yeah. But I've done so many freaking CPR, man.
All right, so what is the weirdest certification you've had to get for a job?
The weirdest, I would call it weird. Definitely like mass traumatic. Every 6 months we had to get sprayed with CS gas and get tasered. This was in the Army.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I enjoyed such activities because, one, I got to taser somebody.
So, yeah, I got to take it once, but I
got the taser. I got to taser people, and I got to spray them with gas. And then we got pugil sticks, and we got to beat them while they were being
good, clean fun.
Yeah, my sergeants were like, dude, you taking this a little too... No, they got to learn. Like, this is a life and death training here we're doing here. Sorry.
So they're taking it very seriously.
And I'm sitting there just jabbing them in the face. You got your mouth guard on? Good, because this is going to hurt. Pop. Oh, fuck. Pop, pop, pop. Come on, vocal harassment. Get away from me. Good. Whack, whack. Fight back. Whack, whack. You're not fighting back hard enough. Whack. They're on the ground. Snot and blood coming out of their mouth. You just whack, whack, whack. It's like,
you're a bad man, Big Spoke. You're a bad man.
But I tell you what, though, a lot of the guys I train, murderers. Those guys, you spray them with CS gas, they laugh at you and come at you. Those and the taser. Really, when you got a good taser, there's really no fighting back. There's just falling on the ground and wriggling. Especially if you get them in a good spot, like in the base of the back or even the butt cheek.
Big Nerf button right there.
Yeah, that sciatic, man. That sucker lock you up like nobody's business.
Oh, I know. It's not even from tasers, man. Sitting is slowly killing us all.
Yeah, I remember one of our coworkers brought a taser to work, and I was like, this is like 20,000 volts. She's like, yeah, that's a lot, right? And I was like, oh, it's 20,000 volts? I'm like, let me show you what 20,000 volts will do. And I stuck it in my chest, and she's like, didn't that hurt? I was like, yeah, it hurts. But you're still getting robbed.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It just hurt.
It just hurt, okay? Now, I've been trained to like overcome that kind of thing. It might work on your average crackhead.
Not your enthusiastic and eager crackhead.
Yeah, not the one that's been starving and he needs that hit and he's willing to. I mean, he might have more training than I did to overcome such diversity.
I can't tell you.
Not diversity. Adversity. Excuse me, people out there who is fact checking.
Well, that's not. But no, I can't tell you how many videos I've seen of guys just fighting through tasers, and even the ones that are cop issued, and they're
cop issues are different because
they're the ones with the prongs, and they got these really nice ones, these big yellow ones now. I think those are up to like 250,000 volts. There are some people that still shrug those off,
but they don't get the meaty portions. They'll hit the bone, or they'll hit like the shoulder,
or snag on the clothes, or something.
Or they'll get them in the stomach, but they won't get. They'll probably hit the sternum and not the bundle of nerves right above your abdomen. You get that, they're going down.
Well, I mean, you get the prongs going randomly. It's not like you can aim those accurately. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I mean it's still impressive seeing what some of those people can just withstand and push through by sheer willpower alone.
They pull that shit out. Like, oh, look! If anybody pulls out a 250,000 volt taser, if they pull those, if they actually get hit and you can see the suckers locking them up, and they're able to override that, grab the prongs and pull them out comes the 9mm. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we're gonna this just went to a righteous kill. That's all this went because if he can do that. He's going to be able to take you as I've seen some embarrassing cop interactions where two cops are taking on one dude and he beats the crap out of the two cops.
Just tossing them around like ragdolls.
Well, no, not just tossing them out. I mean, like knuckling down and knocking cats down or knocking them out. That's an incredible ego hit for a police officer.
Yeah.
Because they're trained to basically dominate. They got to win that exchange. So if you got 2-on-1 and this crackhead knocks both of you out, out comes the 9. Because now it becomes, okay, I had to shoot him 9 times, Your Honor.
Now, see, that's the military mindset. That's the put down
neutralize the threat. That's what they call it.
Neutralize the threat.
Neutralize the threat.
Yeah, there is no escalation of force. There is
neutralize the threat.
Yeah, but you've also done security work on the civilian side. So, you would have had SOPs and...
This is why I wasn't a security guard for very, very long.
Okay.
Because there were a few instances where, like, obviously bigger dudes, like excess of 6 feet tall, he's got a little, like, liquid courage in him or whatever, and he decides he's not going to do what he's told. Okay. As a security guard, your main job is observe and report. That's it. Mm-hmm. You're not supposed to engage. Okay. But what happens sometimes is that some of these people actually know that you can only observe and report, and they push the issue.
And take advantage of.
Yeah, they take advantage of your limited space. Okay, that's when my active, it's me or you kind of attitude comes in, and I'm like, okay, I'm not a security guard right now. I'm gonna whoop your ass kind of guy now. And yeah, that didn't work for me. I couldn't be. I couldn't. Same reason why I wasn't a bouncer for very long, because I was like, hey, you guys are too loud and you're too raucous, and hey, look, can't just go grabbing on people. You got to go. You point to the door nicely. Have a good night. Well, I'm not gonna leave. And then I'm like, I turn into that guy from A Bronx Tale. You go to the door, you lock the door. Okay, now you can't leave. You're stuck in here with me now. Yeah, I didn't last long. I mean, my clearance rate was close to 100%. Because like if I have to put my thumb in your eye, and you're sitting there screaming, I was like, look, this stops when you just walk your heavy ass out of here.
You had the option.
Yeah, and then leave, and as long as they're talking shit from outside, like, yeah, close the door. Hey, dude, I think that was a little over the top. That dude was like 6'4" and 350 pounds. How you think the three of us was going to get him out of here?
I didn't see you coming up with a better plan. Yeah. Go on, Patrick Swayze. Let's get to it.
It's like, look, it was so amazing to me that like I put this guy down. He's like, man, you kicked him in the balls, you kicked him in the knee. I'm like, yeah, because that's what I could reach at this height. The dude was a mountain. Of course I'm going to kick him in the knees and kick him. Well, what if he sues? Okay. My job was to get him out. Yeah. Okay, you guys are to deal with the lawsuits. That was the wrong thing to say.
Yeah.
And I was summarily let go. I think I lasted about 2 weeks at that job. But like in those 2 weeks, not an issue at all. Because after that first week, everybody's like, okay, yeah, you can't mess with Big Smoke. Big Smoke doesn't play that game.
All right, so a little bit of an interruption there, but we've been talking some good stuff with our break here, and it led me into a little epiphany that I had at work the other night. And I was thinking of it in terms of cost versus value. So we're doing this thing where we're trying to expedite the process, right? So we have our method of getting the pizzas out faster, but sometimes those orders get canceled.
Right.
Now we get a credit back for the food waste. That plays into that cost versus value, right? So one pizza, let's say on average costs, so we'll even easier math, $5 versus $10. So $5 is the cost, $10 is the value. If we make the pizza, the company loses $5. If we sell that pizza, the company makes $5.
Makes $5.
So if it ever gets to a point where it costs the company more to pay the workers to make the food quickly without the food waste, because there's the simple value of the product could just be made, and you pay the person to make the food when the order drops. Mm-hmm. But now it's getting to a point where it is more cost effective to just make a bunch of these pizzas, and whatever sells, because you're still turning a profit. And it does that by minimizing the value of the employee. So we have the value of the product versus the value of the employee making it, and then the cost of both, right? So if one person is worth, $15, $16 an hour, but that one person can make 20 pizzas in that hour, some can do more, some can do less. But, so now we've got, the cost and value breakdown. When you have these corporations that are demanding so much profit margin that they are, pulling all up towards the top, our economy only works whenever the money's flowing. right? The money has to keep moving. Right now it's stagnating, and that's what's causing a lot of our issues. But at the same time, I can almost understand it because we have oversaturation of, especially entry-level jobs, of people wanting these basic jobs. So the people getting hired are of a low value, but the cost still stays the same. So, like I said, I understand from the company's perspective, like, how do you get the most value out of your product and your employee? You minimize your costs, maximize your value.
Yeah, you minimize your labor also. I mean, that's the most active way to control your profit, is to manipulate your labor ratio. But I'm just a worker bee.
Above your pay grade?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's way above my pay grade. I'm not like some of our guys are like, hey, I was supposed to be off at 9 o'clock, Like,
I got shit to do.
It's 9:15. You guys said 9. It's 9:15. I'm the last man out, so it's kind of like we leave when, the lights go out, basically. I mean,
technically, I'm the last man out.
Yeah, technically, you're the last man out. I mean, I'm the guy who just can't get off that particular ship. I mean, it's been a long. You saw what happened the one time when I didn't. I didn't know what to do. Like, oh shit!
I'm gonna help the guy up front.
I'm off work. I'm off work.
Sun hasn't even started coming up yet.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. Let me just sit here and waste everybody else's freaking time. And then you had to point out to me, hey man, you been off for about a half an hour, man. Oh, fun. Yeah. Bye, I guess,
I'm going to go home and find something to do with my life.
I'll go home and watch the TV screen, I guess. I was messed up that night.
You a big screen or a small screen guy?
Mine's is about as big as that one.
Well, what I mean is, do you prefer to watch on your TV, or do you find yourself watching on your phone because it's more convenient right there?
I watch my Crunchyroll on my laptop.
Yeah. I find myself, when I'm actually, resting and relaxing and doing my own free time stuff, I tend to be multitasking. Maybe it's the ADHD, maybe it's just,
it's most definitely the ADHD.
I mean, I can't be doing one thing, unless that one thing is all consuming attention wise. So I think the worst I ever got to, I had one phone playing a podcast while I was watching an anime series on my tablet while the newest episode of the D&D actual play that I was watching was playing on the TV. I had a different headphone in each ear.
No, I've gotten bad to where I can't do that. I am, as much as I like to say that I'm trying to multitask, I'll have 2 or 3 screens up and I'll listen to one thing, and as soon as I start zoning out on that, I just click it and go to the next thing and get my fix from that.
Mm-hmm.
And about, depending on how long or how engrossed I am in that, I'll turn that off and go to the third thing. Because I have like the whole thing full of bars opened up, and I'm either doing like I told you last time, I was just doing movie reactions. I got caught up in doing movie reactions.
Watching other people watch movies.
Watching other people watch stuff and react to their reaction of the movie that they're watching.
Mm-hmm.
And it all started when I was just, somebody at work was talking about Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about that one part where that one replicant saved Harrison Ford's character. Basically, he was let the guy sit there and hang off the side of a building until he actually fell. Mm-hmm. And then, like, quick release grabbed him and saved his life. And what really messed me up is that our coworker said something incredibly ridiculous, because this guy basically programmed to kill saved someone else's life, and he had this little speech at the end, and they didn't get the freaking speech. And I'm like, what, am I fugazi? Let me go back and watch that particular part. So I watched it. And I'm like, okay, they're dumb as rocks. I mean, it's obvious why, no. Let's go see. And then that's when I clicked the reaction.
Yeah, see what other people are saying.
See how they reacted. And they were just as fucking dumb as I'm like, what's going on here? So I just went to another reaction. Same thing. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here?
Did you guys not read Lord of the Rings as a kid and understand the nuances of language? I was like,
come on. The guy's talking about, being remembered after you die, people.
Mm.
What does the dove mean? Why does the guy have the dove? The dove is flying away because motherfucker died, and he had a pure white dove, which is, representative
Purity and
your soul
peace
going up into the heaven. Nobody reads a book nowadays. You don't understand the symbolism of this nuance.
Oh God, no.
Oh man, I'm sitting there, and then I'm like, oh no, I'm that guy that's yelling at the TV screen. I'm that guy. I'm like, oh, and then I was like, I can't stop. I went to another reaction. Same damn thing, and it's sort of like what that. I mean, my whole idea of watching movies became so. I think I took a step deeper into that rabbit hole because I was like, wait a minute, there's a lot of people who just don't get it.
You ever wonder what you're missing that other people would say, oh, well, he's just not getting
Yes. And I constantly ask, am I being a jerk? Am I being an asshole? Am I missing something? Damn it. Especially with movies that are really deep, like Pan's Labyrinth or Donnie Darko or something like that. Because I've watched Donnie Darko at least 4 times, and I still don't understand that stupid ass movie. I notice, I understand what it's saying to me, but I don't.
Isn't it just artistic representation of anxiety?
Yeah, it is.
The impending sense of doom.
The impending sense of doom.
Yeah.
But still, it's like you watch it and go, what the hell what am I looking at? I mean, what's with the big ass rabbit?
I was literally word for word, man. Took it right out of my mouth before I could say it.
You're like, what the hell? And like I said, I've seen that movie 4 times.
I'm sure I've seen somebody make reference to it's supposed to represent the loss of childlike innocence. It's the oppressiveness of the world and that kind of thing. But yeah, but if you look at it just face value, it's a weird movie for sure. But yeah, you have to look into nuance and subtlety. That's one of the big things that I love about storytelling is what you can say without just outright saying it. You show, you don't tell. And then you also get the advantage of being able to leave that up to the viewers or the reader's interpretation. Exactly. So now you've told one story from your perspective, and you've got 10 different versions of it out there because of how people interpret it.
And that's why watching really deep movies.
More than surface
deep. More than surface stuff. I started watching stupid movies like Memento, and I watched Memento, and then right after that, I watched Inception.
Okay. Yeah, 2 very big,
mind-bending movies.
Yeah.
My buddy was so engrossed with Memento that he was so pissed off because he couldn't figure out the movie that he stopped edited the whole movie and then reversed it so he could watch it in reverse.
Deep cut, but did you ever see the meme or the video? It might have been a skit from something, but it was Merlin watching Memento.
No, I haven't seen that. No, I definitely would have.
Yeah, he finishes the movie. He's like, oh, that made perfect sense. I don't know what everybody was talking about. For the viewers that are too young or not quite as delved into, Merlin remembered everything backwards his entire life.
Yeah, for those of us who really had the old version of Merlin and Arthur.
Yeah, if you've only ever seen the Sci-Fi Channel version.
Yeah. Oh man, that show fucked people up. Oh God, I watched that, and I was sitting there going, "This is not it."
Yeah, right. This is not Merlin.
This is not Merlin. Okay. Oh my God, but
it was a fun show. It
was a fun show.
Yeah.
Not Merlin. It's just a hijacking of the name to give it presence. That's all it was. They could have named it anything else, and it would have been still a great show. But I think the main draw was Merlin and Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
It just messed me up watching that stupid ass show. I felt part of me was dying watching.
But no, it's like I said, it's a fun story, but there is so much deeper lore, right? So that's another big one for me. It's that weird memory retention knack that I have. But I could tell you more about fictional universes than I can our own, and plenty of people can. You find something interesting, right?
Wait, though, real life, our real life universe. There's so much we don't know. That's what
Well, and that's another thing too. You have canon events in the fictional universe that are written down. You understand, this is what happened because the author said so. They created the world, and you take it as fact.
Doom, for example.
Yeah, you can't do that with the real world unless you were there. When you don't know what happened. You have the author's account, which could be full of shit. You know, and that's if they got even a little bit of it right. You know, I mean, how much of the stuff prehistory, pre-written language that we lost because you know nobody was around back then and they didn't write it down.
All that Egyptian writing that no one can read. All that stuff in Mexico, that huge wall where they got all this freaking writing, that weird Mayan calendar that they swear that they figured out, you know, the dates on it.
Yeah, but answer truthfully, has the world felt the same since 2012? Maybe this exactly. So maybe this is some kind of weird Mayan limbo, you know.
But see, like I said, you God help us if even like 90% of what they're saying is actually true.
If 10% of it is true,
yeah,
you know, it's.
I mean, I want to give it the 90%, because, like, I got a go bag. I'm a part of me, and that's sick, and that's demented, and it's wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I should not be embracing the darker side of my past.
All I'm saying is that we can handle the zombies. Maybe
not zombies.
Not zombies?
People. Homeboy next door. That's who you're going to have to handle, not the zombie.
Well, yeah, if Walking Dead taught us anything, it's the humans are the monsters.
Yeah, it's the human.
And if Dawn of the Dead taught us anything, it's that, you know, late stage capitalism, consumerism is, you know, rotting us from the inside out.
And you just got to be wary of the people who want to keep the zombies as pets.
Or chained up to the bed.
Are you having sex with it? You know, like, go on.
But hey, if you want more riveting conversation like this, you know, really hit that like and subscribe button. Keep following us.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey, even if you've seen the video before, if it pops up in your feed, give it a click. Come back, you know, just to share it to somebody else.
Back to Inception.
Oh yes,
Inception. I love that movie because when it first came out, we watched it in the theaters. My buddy, he hates ambiguous endings. He wants he wants the bad guy to suffer. He wants the bad guy to be punished, go down in a blaze of glory.
And you want closure.
He wants the closure. And that little top was spinning and spinning and spinning. It wiggled a little, and it kept on spinning, and then fade to black. I've never seen a man jump up, no, you know, and I was like, I'm sitting back going, that was awesome. And he wasn't the only one. People were like having visceral reactions to it, like they wanted to know, is this dude still asleep on the couch, or is he awake? Or
was the whole thing a dream?
Was the whole thing? Because was it a dream within a dream within a dream? Freaking off, and there was a dream right around the corner. And I was like, wow, dude. I was like, I don't even want to go that deep. I want to go, was he awake, or was he not? Or was he, like, you know, was he just like still asleep in the chair?
Bigger question, considering what they're able to do with dream technology, was his family ever real to begin with?
Yeah. Was his family an actual Inception? Was he made to believe that he had a family that he had to do all kinds of crazy crap for?
You ask me, you know, a corporation that can manipulate dreams is going to find some way to make a guy do the job.
Yeah, make him believe that he had to do the job and do it to the best of his ability.
Or else he's never seen that family again. And the family never existed in the first place.
You'll do anything for family. It's like,
you know, and there is such an existential dread to that, because I feel like it kind of wraps around into purpose. You have a deep desire to be meaningful, to have meaning, to be here for a reason. And when it comes to things like dreams, you know, you take away that framework of reality, and now there's so much less meaning in meaning, you know, because it's simply figments of the imagination. They are, you know, ethereal wisps, if you will. I grew up with my dad always telling us that, you know, his only real fear was that, you know, his life was a fabrication. It was somebody else's dream, and they were going to wake up. You know, you hear that shit as a kid, even a teenager. Hell, thinking about it now as a grown-ass adult, that shit gives me fucking shivers down my spine if I think too hard about it. Because, like, yeah, somebody else, not even me waking up and I'm set back, you know, a couple of decades ago. No, if somebody else wakes up and I'm just gone.
I had a philosophy teacher in high school. He taught English history, but he goes, you know, what if you are not the author? Yeah, what if he goes, what if you're dreaming and you realize I'm not only not the center of my own dream, but this isn't my dream.
Mm.
So what happens to you when the true protagonist of that dream wakes up?
Mm.
What happens to you? Are you simply a figment of someone else's imagination? He goes, so your life is a dream, and you're this single person sitting in your apartment, and you're a loser, and you go through your entire life, but it's a dream, someone else's dream. How do you react to that? You don't want to be the loser. You don't want to be the NPC. You don't want to be the side character. NPCs weren't even around back then. It was just, you were the side character.
Yeah. And you decide you want to be the main character.
And you want to be the main character. You want to be the guy who gets all the girls and then the Lamborghini and all that stuff. But you find yourself just being short stalled every aspect of the way. That's because you're the side character.
Yeah, that's good.
So here you're going through 50, 60 years of this. You're tired of being a side character. You keep putting the effort into it, and you're still the side character. You're on your deathbed, and it's like you never accomplished anything. You're the same guy, and you're in the bed. No one's visiting you. He goes, now, if you die, are you really dead? Or does it all start over? Or are you still the side character in the book's over? And people are like, oh, crap, like people like having bouts of anxiety. Like, Jesus, am I the side character? Hey.
Well, and then that's just looking for that deeper meaning of, like, is that why I can't ever be successful no matter how hard I try?
Is there someone else to blame, or am I? But what it really came down was like, okay, are you the true master of your own destiny, or are you subject to whatever some whim happens to be put upon you and you can't escape it?
My favorite question in response to things like that has always been, if either or is true, regardless of, what are you going to do about it? And so, it's kind of that double-edged sword of, your life has no meaning and none of it matters. But then also your life has no meaning. None of it matters. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can be miserable and mopey about not having any true divine purpose, or, you can start a podcast and fucking quit your day job. And
anarchy manifest, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can do controlled anarchy, I guess, in a sense. I'm not actually quitting the day job, people.
What I loved about that one analogy of whether or not you can change something, in Minority Report, ball's rolling down the ramp. He catches it. Well, what's going to happen? It was going to fall. Well, how do you know? I caught it. Would it have fallen if I hadn't have been there?
Right.
It's like, but you were there. Well, hey, that doesn't mean, because they were trying to like justify pre-crime. They're like, oh, look, he didn't commit murder.
You stopped it.
You stopped it. He goes, well,
if I hadn't stopped
it, he would have committed murder. So I can charge him for the crime that he was gonna do, but didn't do.
Was it Bill Burr was talking about a completely different topic? Who was talking about, if you put all the ingredients together in a mixing bowl and you put it in the pan and you put it in the oven, you're gonna get a cake. But if halfway through that process you rip that shit out and toss it all over the floor, if you hadn't interfered, you would have gotten a cake. Yeah, so predeterminism is bullshit, people.
Just one of the many aspects of this podcast. We delve deep into the ethereal.
I mean, I'm well versed in my D&D lore. I know the extents and histories of the ethereal plane.
Look, I'm
probably more than like someplace like France or something.
I'm well versed in the quirks of personality, and I miss every now and again. But man, when I hit it bullseye. Because now I look at people, and just by the way they act, within a half an hour, I'm going, yeah, that ninja's not going to make it. He's not.
Being able to properly measure up inside somebody up real quick.
In time scale, a week, 2 at tops. And lately I've been hitting 1,000%. 1,000%. Yeah, this ninja can't walk stairs. You're not going to make it. Cardio is this dude's kryptonite. I want to be sympathetic, but now I'm kind of disgusted because I hate it when people cry in public. Oh my God.
Take this napkin and clean yourself up.
Oh God, man. That's what that movie, A League of Their Own, Tom Hanks, he pulled that off perfectly.
Are you crying?
Because I see that, and that's exactly how I feel.
There's no crying in baseball.
That's exactly how I feel.
Sent a buddy of mine from my Air Force days a link to this podcast. I hope he hears this episode, man, because he used to quote that movie all the goddamn time. That and Forrest Gump. Gump! Why did you put that rifle together so quickly?
Because you told me to. That movie impacted me so bad. I actually read the book.
There's a book. I had no idea. Listen, man, I should know better. There is no such thing as a creative idea in Hollywood.
No.
But yeah, no, I had no idea.
Yeah, and it's a lot more. He does a lot more.
Yeah.
They get caught. They get caught by some cannibals, and there's a cannibal. The chieftain. He's a chess aficionado. And he's playing chess to distract them, so they wouldn't eat him until the rescue party came. He's playing he's not playing to win. He's playing to
draw out the game.
To draw out the game. He could have checkmated this guy a while ago, but he knew if as soon as the game is over, into the pot they go. So he just kept.
So what? The book, he was more of like a savant type, or
he was very much a savant.
Okay,
but it's just like he kept managing to get himself into these weird freaking adventures and stuff.
When was the book written? Do you know?
I don't know, but I read it right after I saw the movie, and I found out there was a book written on it. And that's what I do nowadays. I see a movie or something like that, and then I'll see, there's a book. I'll go down to the library and I'll pick a book. Like, there's this one movie that I thought was great. Turns out that the book is a hell of a lot darker. Limitless.
Oh yeah.
If you like the movie, don't read the book. The book is it's more pessimistic than I am.
Bad. Okay.
He does not get away.
Right.
It's bad ending, man.
Yeah, because you can definitely see where it was originally would have been focused on addiction and withdrawal, and
exactly.
That feeling of being limitless while on drugs. But yeah, but then they turn around.
It's a difference. It's a difference between feeling like you have no limitations, but when you're on the drug, you have no limitations. I mean, if you wanted to figure out how to rob the most secure bank in the world, if you was on this ZZT thing that they had, you would be able to figure it out. Especially if you took enough of the drug. The drug maximizes your processing power. The problem was the drawback is
withdrawal is it come down.
You can't come down, because if you do, it would kill you probably. It's funny, like in the movie, you see what happens to a few of the people who took the drug
and burnt out
and stopped taking it. His sister was one of them. His sister, she was like this bright light in the room. It's like, but then for some reason, they don't really explain why she stopped taking it. But when she stopped taking it, she was a shell.
Yeah.
And when she saw him after years of knowing he was a freaking idiot, and he's like an Adonis all of a sudden.
I know what you're doing.
She knew automatically right away. She's like, "Oh, you're on the drug, aren't you? You got any?" She got off of it, but she was still jonesing.
I mean, could you imagine that feeling of truly not having a cap of what you could do, and then suddenly you're back into the limited meat space brain, or even maybe lesser than if you're left with a bunch of fried out neurons from overclocking.
Man, I love that. I love to think that would be the case, but I unfortunately know exactly where I am on the totem pole, and I'm way down there. But I have an aversion to drugs to begin with, so if I have to take drugs
to get there,
it wouldn't even matter if I actually got there, because now I know that this is somewhere I can't stay, because my ascendancy is directly tied to how much I can imbibe of this drug. I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it.
My caffeine dependency is suddenly coming into question now.
Yours and mine both. Yours and mine.
Well, I mean, most of this exists because of caffeine. Right now.
Caffeine, right?
I just pulled a actual all-nighter for the first time in a long time, and I promised myself I would make sure to prioritize rest, but I had to get the episode back up. I mean, we got so far off track with it, man. I mean, literally, it was, I always talk about trying not to keep all the eggs in one basket. When I had one device that was capable of the audio editing on the scale of what we were doing with each episode, and when it crashed out, I knew that it was just a setback, because obviously I just needed a new computer, which means I needed a little bit more money, which means I just needed more time, some paychecks rolling. But then I just started really looking into Because again, it's the baby steps to the goals, right? So like, obviously I would love to have, a full blown studio with a giant, tabletop sound mastering board and all that stuff. But no, I had a shitty 10-year-old laptop that couldn't keep one file open to let it get completed. And now I have one that can run like probably 6 of them without crashing out. But I didn't need, HAL 9000. I needed one step up, and I found a nice
Space Odyssey 2001, people. Sorry, I can't do that, Dave. But look, no one's going to know that Space Odyssey there.
Some people are, and those are going to be the
really, they got to be over 40 at reference.
Well, I mean, I just made it.
We have all ascertained that you are not the average bear, okay?
Hey, boo-boo.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to get our picnic bastards today, boo-boo.
Oh, my God. Okay, quick side tangent. Just bringing up Yogi Bear, man. Talk about camping trips earlier.
Yeah.
Somewhat circular tangent here, semi-circular tangent. One of the camping trips we went on, there was a Jellystone National Park. It was a franchise campground that was Yogi Bear themed. And it was one of those cash grab places, you pay exorbitant rates for a little patch of 10 by 10 dirt, and then they go around with the truck with the wheelbarrow attached to it, and you got to buy a bundle of firewood, and they fine you if you cut any of the wood around you down and stuff like that. But they had this really dope water slide section. It was like across from the campgrounds. There was these 2 massive water slides, and that was a lot of fun. But if I remember correctly, it was one of those ones where you had to have like the neoprene mats or whatever. Oh. And they didn't have enough water going down the one slide. It got stuck, and then somebody coming behind me fucking slammed both feet into my back and kicked me down the rest of it.
No.
Came out of it okay, but yeah, that was
Yogi Bear. I don't know. I probably could. No, I don't think I could watch one of those cartoons.
The old Hanna-Barbera cartoons?
I don't think I could. Honestly, I wanted someone to shoot Yogi so bad. That dude was a freaking kleptomaniac.
Yeah, that's a kid's cartoon.
And as much as I like my little sandwiches, and he's sitting there just macking on everybody. Man, I would shoot that damn bear.
What bears do, though, man?
No,
told you, man. Especially the black bears, they're like oversized raccoons. They just we had a couple of them get into the park up at Glacier National Park. They got into the village there, and yeah, I saw the one. It was so all the dumpsters out there. They have those big roll cages on top of them to keep the bears out. And it got up on top of there, man, and it's like jumping up and down on like a fucking trampoline, and then it got bored, and like you got a bunch of tourists that are circling the parking lot taking pictures and everything, and it's just sitting there not paying them any mind, and wandered off into a nearby yard. That nearby yard had an apple tree growing in it, so it managed to find a nice little food source for itself. So they're like, well, now we got to relocate the bear because the bear found food.
He's not gonna give that food up. I saw this one YouTube clip where this bear just basically walked in on this, I guess you could call it a picnic.
Mm.
And these people were like, hey, get out of here, bear, shoot. I think at the last second, they kind of realized that maybe they should not antagonize this bear, because the bear was like walking like about the distance between me and you.
No, and about 3-4 feet.
Yeah, and they had the gate open, and they're like, get out of here. And there was that one like slight where the bear was about to walk through the gate, and then it just kind of didn't growl in it, but you could see it's like his fur kind of ruffled, like, hey, I'm pissed off and I'm a bear.
Right.
And then the guy who had the gate open, he responded like any normal person would who saw a bear ruffle up like that. He was like, oh crap, I'm standing next to a bear. And the bear's like, damn right. And he walks through the gate, you know.
I'm a bear, etc.
Better watch what you say.
Man, I'm not a small guy. Big animals kind of freak me out a little bit, man. Like, more than just that deep caveman, fucking DNA in there. Yeah, it's horses. They don't terrify me like they used to, but I do not like horses.
I don't like horses either.
I don't care how many people will tell me, oh, they're just as loyal as dogs, if not more so, and they're intelligent and this and that. And sure enough, man, I saw this TikTok forever ago, and it justified every fucking second of displeasure I've had with horses. And they did a little dub over it. It was great, but he's like, it's guys walking the horse along, just going down the road, holding it by the reins and everything. And he's standing, walking alongside this horse, and the horse just stops. And like it's that like that look the dogs get whenever they're about to get the zoomies, you know. And the voiceover is like, wait a minute, I don't need to take this shit. I'm stronger than you. I'm a fucking horse. And it just takes off the opposite direction, dragging dude down the fucking road by the reins. Looking like he's skiing on dirt and pavement, man. I'm like, nope. See, that's the thing, man. That's the thing. Like, I don't care how big I am. A horse is bigger. If I'm on a horse and I want to go left and it wants to go right and it decides to go right and we're going fucking right and there's not a damn thing I can do about it. And they bite, they kick, they fucking...
Yeah, I went down one of those, another like rabbit holes where I was watching like these TikTok shorts or whatever. And it was about horses. And it was this one lady was walking a horse, and then for some reason the horse decides, okay, I think this is the proper time for me to bite you on the shoulder and shake you like a rag doll. And fuck. I was like,
I saw that one. Yeah,
I was like, holy hell! And you can tell she was not. Who really expects that? But she didn't see that. And I was saying, I told you I don't want to walk today, you know.
Shaking her like it was horse money, you know.
Shook her like she owed her money. And then of course there's all those other like other TikTok shorts that I watch with horses where various animals decide they're going to mess with the horse.
And they get kicked.
And they get kicked. I'm like, God damn. They're like, dog is talking that good shit. Yeah, I'm a dog, bitch. Yeah, nibble, nibble, nibble. Wakaka. Oh, fuck.
Flying back like 10 feet.
Okay, that was a bad idea, messing with the horse.
One of my favorites is fucking bison, man. I think we talked about it on previous episodes. Because like the tourists get too close, man. But I swear to God, I could watch bison fling kids and dumb tourists all day. Like, you're talking about a thing that, like you said, literally the head is the size of your torso. I can't remember if it was you or Jolly that said it, but yeah, I mean, head the size of your torso. And I've been within like 10, 15 feet of them, and I knew slowly back away.
They're all over the place. They're all over the place in Oklahoma.
Yeah, well, I was out in Yellowstone whenever I was down there. So yeah, we went through Wyoming and a little bit of Montana, because I mean it covers 4 states. Yellowstone does, I believe. Might be more, but I know it's at least 4 states. But yeah, no, I mean, and those things are just absolutely massive. And I mean, you got bison, you got moose, which I know are technically megafauna, but they're still herbivores. Which, did you know, natural predator of a moose is the orca?
The porpoise, really?
The killer whales?
They're not whales. I hate it when they're not whales.
That's porpoise. The colloquial name.
I know, Orca icinus, the bringer of death. Yeah, I get that.
But they eat moose.
How?
I will tell you. So, up in Alaska, where moose are prevalent, vegetation is not that prevalent. So the moose got to get the green stuff where they can.
So they swim.
Because there's a lot of algae out in the water, a lot of seaweed. And moose can dive up to, I think it's like 20 meters. They dive, yeah. I mean, they're already pretty fucking big, but yeah, they can dive. They can hold their breath and they can dive down and munch on the vegetation. And it just so happens to be in deep enough water that orca can swim up in alongside the shoreline and snatch them up some moose.
And orca are smart enough to go, moose is going to be coming around here, right?
Yeah, that's another thing too, man. I don't fuck with porpoises. No dolphins, no killer whales, no orcas. They are capable of evil, and they know that they are, and they do it anyways.
Yes, because you're in their
evil,
element.
Vile creatures that have no more sense of morality, and they do things because they feel good, like turning pufferfish into drug paraphernalia and human corpses into sex toys.
Yeah,
gross.
There's some horny animals, those dolphins.
Oh yeah. I saw a story of one was using a dead fish as a fleshlight. And of course, everybody knows the story about the one scientist that was doing the studies and fell in love with the male dolphin.
Pleasuring the dolphin, and then she left the dolphin. The dolphin was so depressed. I'm ashamed to admit that I actually know that story.
Why ashamed to admit? It's fascinating.
Because it was fascinating. You know, like this scientist, like, I'm gonna jerk off this dolphin and get it to do what I want. So, basically, rationing the sex.
So somebody saw it. Was it The Shape of Water or?
Oh yeah,
saw that movie a few too many times.
I had to see that again because somebody else wanted to watch it, and I did not want to watch it.
Never seen it.
You should watch it.
I feel like on that reaction, I shouldn't watch it. I mean, I'm probably going to anyways because I'm trying to watch all the movies, but
if we're going to play that game, sure, you should watch that. That should be the next movie so we can talk about it. And you're going to go, why the hell did you recommend this craptacular movie that won an Academy Award, I think?
I say, why do I feel like it's just going to be a gender bent version of that movie Splice?
No.
I
couldn't tell you what Splice was to represent.
Yeah, it kind of went with that weird.
It went everywhere and nowhere
notion,
at the same. Yeah, it went everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
It was that creator and created. It was that father daughter, and then it was weird incestuous intimacy, and then it was free will and breaking away of the creation, and then it was a lot of things packed into a 90-minute movie.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it had no conclusions.
Which honestly, what I took away from the movie is they need to take this chick out back and shoot her. Everything started with her stealing shit. She should have been stealing stuff and then growing it in the lab and then lost control of it.
Yeah, we all saw Frankenstein. Probably what it is just a retelling of Frankenstein. Just like Lion King is just Hamlet.
It's just Hamlet.
So Splice is just Frankenstein.
I was like, oh my God, this is except if it's when they were losing. I mean, when they really lost control of it, and I'm going, okay, none of these people are armed. What?
No, they're scientists.
I don't care. She knew enough to cut this very dangerous, poisonous dagger-like tail off this thing because it posed a threat. But she thought that just talking to it very harshly was going to submit this thing. This thing became a very
lethal predator.
Yeah, it became an apex predator quickly.
Well, I mean, you ever see the the stories of people raising lions and rescues, and they fear the chancla because that's what there's a guy with a sandal, man. He keeps these lions, full-grown lion, a whole fucking pack of them, or pride of them, and and like that sandal ain't hurting a fucking lion, but it's so ingrained from childhood. It's that training, but ingrained behavior.
And it's funny, it's like they showed him like we was opening the gate, and that sucker would jump up,
paws on the shoulder, and just
400 pounds of this thing, and it just.
He just catch that shit too,
yeah. And it's like, oh my God, he's gonna die,
and it's gonna be an accident. Yeah,
he's gonna like take a bite on him and go, that's just start chewing on him.
Sadly, that is what happens to a lot of
oh my God!
Look at that one woman lost her arm on Tiger King.
Well, yeah, Tiger King. And what was that? The two magicians.
Oh,
Roy?
Sigmund and Freud. Sigmund Roy. Freud. Freudian slip if I've ever seen.
I'm pretty sure they wasn't Freud.
Sigmund and Roy.
I mean, come on. That dude, it's like the tiger was like, rugger, shaking the hell out of him and go, oh, that's right. Yeah. You're my master. How you doing, buddy? You okay? I mean, shook him nearly to death before he realized, oh, hey.
Well, I mean, 30-pound dog, and I got more, scars up my arms and legs just from him getting a little too rambunctious. I can only imagine a 400, 500, 600-pound beast of the jungle. And, that's
I wouldn't know way those suckers used to roam free in the house. Okay, like when I go to the bathroom in your spot, and this puppy like's waiting for you outside the door. The first time he did that, I'm like, whoa, hey.
Yeah. Now imagine if that thing was bigger than you are.
Yeah. Waiting around the corner for you. Oh,
there was a short that I see. There's a TikTok I see.
I gotta go to the bathroom again.
Somebody goes to a door. I don't know if they were like. I mean, I'm pretty sure they knew it was there, but they go and they knock on the door. There's no answer. The door kind of creaks open a little bit, and through the 2-inch slit in the door, you just see a full-grown tiger, eyes staring, and they're like, oh. They're just standing there watching for a second, and they're like, I'm just gonna go
close this door.
And you just hear that thing lash out and slam that door shut. Fuck that, man. The only reason that door is still standing is because the tiger doesn't realize it. It can just go through it. Yeah. And sad part is, I love tigers. I don't know what it is about big cats, man. I love big cats. They're beautiful, and they are predatory and dangerous, and they got big old teeth, and they got murder beans that are bigger than my head. You know, it's
the guy on Tiger King, man, he pushed the paw on that tiger, and that huge old hook of a claw comes out. I'm like, if he really wanted to just take a hold of you and just pull to the left, it's it.
Mm-hmm. Like somebody raking daggers across you.
It's like, oh my God, there's no way.
And they'll justify it like, oh, you know, more people get killed by lawnmowers every year than tiger attacks. And it's like, yeah, but like, you know, you don't spend every day with wild lawnmowers roaming your house.
I don't have a fear of turning my back on the lawnmower. Especially if the lawnmower's on. I can just simply turn the lawnmower off. And then no more bad lawnmower. Okay?
It's coming back around to Skynet all over again. If you just turn it off, then there's no problem. You got to keep that off switch. It's a living creature that it's like Jurassic Park, man. This thing wasn't born to fed, it was born to hunt.
He didn't want to be fed, doesn't want to be coddled, wants to hunt.
That's it, yeah. I would love to own a bear or a tiger or whatever. Not even to necessarily own, just like a rescue of some kind and work alongside of. But like even then, I know that thing can kill me by accident, and that is no bueno. I'm not going to do it. I love them. I don't love them that much. You know, I'll buy the tiger sticker book and make my little donation. To the
I'll watch the YouTube video,
funds,
but I'm not getting anywhere near a lion or a tiger. I don't even like going to the zoo and seeing those lions.
I mean that's just watching things in cages, man. That's
that too. I don't like seeing wild animals pacing back and forth in an enclosure that doesn't even resemble an eighth. You see some of they used to put them in these like side pens. They didn't like that's so messed up. Like their side pens are like maybe half the size of the actual like, you know, showcase area.
Yeah, they got enough room to swim in a circle.
Right.
And,
but sometimes they leave them in that area where, you know, you could see them. And there's times where they're not roaming. They're sitting like at the edge of the pool with their blowhole just barely out of the water, and they're just barely moving their tail, and it looks like they're just from my perspective, like I want to get the hell out of here.
I'm out of here. I'm going to kill every single person in this room on my way out.
And I'm going, man, that's just. I feel so bad for him, and then of course, you know, that was right around the time the Free Willy was coming out. Right. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to jail trying to get this couple of ton animal back out into the ocean. And then I don't know, like after Free Willy came out, and I'm saying, okay, and Free Willy got away and everything. I was like, okay, well, look, you got this animal that's been raised since it was a calf.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna know how to.
It doesn't know shit. You like got the worst homeless person.
It's raised in homelessness.
Yeah, just raised homeless person. You stuck out there. And also, later on, when I got really obsessed about with whales or orcas in particular, is that there are so many subgenus species of orca. And what's worse is that when they breed those suckers in captivity, they won't fit into any type of genus that they have in the wild. Yeah. So if you suck that sucker out in the wild, they'd probably kill it because they're like, hey.
You don't talk like us. You don't smell like us.
Who raised you? You know?
Why are you moving wrong?
Yeah. What? Is that Japanese? What the hell are you saying? You know? And of course, you know, those animals are incredibly intelligent. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have
man,
a language barrier.
Did you hear? You know whales. Did you hear the story about the one whale that had the birth defect, so it couldn't get its vocal range within the audible range that whales communicate at? They couldn't hit the frequencies that.
That's a joke, right?
No, that's. I mean, it's the saddest fucking thing. Like it was born with a defect, so that it doesn't hit the same frequency levels for its sound to travel.
Like a whale stutter.
Yeah, but it's
I'm lost.
We can pick it up on sensitive equipment on sonar stuff, but the other whales can't detect it, and it doesn't sound like another whale. So it's it's one of those things where it is rejected by any other whale pods. And
the whales are looking at each other. I know he's saying something. What is he saying? I know he's talking, but what is he saying? Come on. George, can you talk to this guy? He says he's lost. He doesn't know where to go.
Just picturing Dory from Finding Nemo. I can speak whale.
Oh my God. That's sad, but
it is, yeah.
That's finally oddly humorous, but that's sad. This is why This is why you can't put me around decent people. I just
making fun of people's stutters. I ain't sitting right here.
You don't know what's wrong with you, man. Oh God. Oh. It's kind of like that kid at work who I swear to God, he tried to come in the first day with his pants sagging. And I was like, yeah, you didn't know this kid. He didn't last a day.
Oh, okay.
He didn't last a day.
Was this recently that this happened?
Oh, no, this is years ago.
Oh, okay.
But he came in now, for me, I used to call them penguins. When they used to walk around like that.
They waddle.
Yeah, literally, they're sitting there walking around. And this is when I was really into watching Steve Irwin. So I tried my worst Australian accent. Whoa, crikey. There's another one. It's the late stage penguin. And I remember seeing him. I was like, hey, dude, why are your pants down so low? Oh, this is the style. I'm like, really? Showing your ass to everybody? That's the style. I said, that's in prison. That's an acceptance marker for homosexuality. He goes, no, it's not. Yes, it is.
You may want to do a quick Google search.
Yeah, the lower you hold your pants down is an indication of how receptive you are to such advances. And I'm not saying you look like a felon. He took great offense to that. He took great offense.
But did he pick his pants up?
I never saw him again. He quit like the next day.
That.
He quit the next day. He couldn't keep the pace.
It's fair. I'd say most couldn't, but that'd be a lie, man. Anybody, if you can keep the pace,
I can't keep the pace. As likes, excuse me, a person at work like to tell me.
Boss man likes to really rag on you a little bit.
Yeah, hey, too slow, heavyset man. I'm like,
oh my God, that's
Mr. Heavyset man to you.
Been the running gag for the past 3 days. I'm already tired of it. Just wondering how bad it's going to stick, and how long do we have to wait before everybody else quits the job that remembers.
He can't keep it up though. He runs out of gas. He gets his little humor themes going on.
Yeah, but he tries to get them to spread, but it's like he doesn't quite get the humor of the place. He's not the right kind of neurodivergent to fit in with the rest of us.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's a little too much bite to his humor.
Yeah,
because I think he low key means what he's saying when he says it. He doesn't mean it in a humorous manner.
Well, he's only a couple years older than I am, so he's one of the ones that grew up in the old Xbox Live chat rooms and Call of Duty lobbies and everything. So
he's got a potty mouth.
Yeah,
he's got a potty mouth.
You kind of had to keep up with. Oh yeah,
especially when it's just guys.
Almost exclusively when it's just guys.
Yeah.
If there's mixed company present, he tends to hold back a little bit until they're just out of earshot, and then it's but it's good that he is attempting. I will say that I've definitely had worse bosses that were just like, nah, no, fuck having fun in the workplace. This is a job. You're here to make money and go home. I don't give a shit about you.
Yeah, I've been through.
He at least just doesn't give a shit about us. So.
How many? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 GMs
in that store.
5, yeah, in that store. 5. From we've had some that they were a little aggressive, threats of being locked unconscious had to be implemented.
Well, he wasn't one of the ones running the store.
Oh, he was the assistant.
Let's see. Our current boss's boss.
Yeah.
He was the GM whenever I started. So we started with him, and then the next guy, and then it was the girl after that, and then
another girl after that.
No,
that was what's his. Yeah.
And then it was. I mean, fuck it. I'm just editing it out anyways. It's not all of it.
No, don't say the names. You don't have to edit it. No, don't say the names. Yeah.
I click and I hit a button and it cuts it out.
Oh, you spoiled brat now.
I got keyboard commands and function controls. I know what a macro is now. I did not before. I mean, it's still magic runecraft as far as how any of this shit works, but I mean, I'm starting to understand the patterns now. I'm starting to understand the tools. I may not be a wizard yet, but I am slowly learning the apprenticeship artificer.
I am now a journeyman.
No.
Advanced apprentice.
Yeah, I'm getting up there in the apprenticeship. Big boss, bigger boss, big boss. And then it was Red.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I was stand-in for like a minute, and then it was
current boss.
Technically, old lover boy was boss man for a bit. And they specifically didn't tell me because they thought I was going to quit. They thought if I got passed over, or if I knew that I had gotten passed over, that I would quit.
I told Red that wouldn't happen.
But yeah,
and she was sure that it was. I'm like, obviously, you don't know this motherfucker. He's not quitting.
Nope, I am here for the love of the game. I've just been doing it for so long. It's not that I don't know how to do anything else. I would just be starting low man on the totem pole. You know,
why would you want to do that?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I have tried other opportunities, and I because of the experiences that I've had, I do tend to rise quickly. Doing the seasonal work, I was a cashier for 2 summers, and you know the money was great. I mean, the tips were fantastic. Go work at a national park. Just do it. Just, even for a little bit. You can do a partial season. They don't care. They're used to it. Go try it. But yeah, no, I was a cashier, and then the assistant managers quit. So I got bumped up to an assistant manager both summers, both times. About halfway through the season, the assistant managers quit out. I ended up getting temporary promotion, and then I tried to get the GM spot because I knew that the guy that they had brought in as the GM wasn't coming back the following year. I'm like, listen, I've got management experience. I was GM at a couple of different places, and you know, then in the wintertime in between, I was actually a GM of 2 spots at the same time. They wanted me to go to the other side of the park, making less money around less people. I don't do well in isolation and away from people. There are too many bad habits that I would very easily fall back into that I don't want to. So I avoided that. But yeah, so I said, fuck that. I'm not going to be assistant manager at a sandwich shop. When I got my career progression to worry about. I'm like, I got this job lined up back home. And, you know, if I play my cards right, I could, you know, be GM someday. And then that someday still hasn't shown up. But now I'm going to start my own business. You know, we're going to start a business.
Yeah.
It's going to be
great. Keep it 100. This is your show. I'm just here for the ride. I mean, I'm happy to partake, but yeah, this definitely is your show. I like it. Yes, man, we're doing this together. Nah, Ninja, that's not the truth, people. I am very much, you know, the staff. The staff.
Your voice talent, of which the show would not exist without.
I show up.
Hey, that counts for something, believe it or not.
And if people are freaking unreliable flakes, oh, I'll be here, man. Where are you? Crickets. Hey, man.
Where were you 2 days ago?
Yeah, we're supposed to be there. Oh, man. You know, blah, blah. Yeah, you know.
More reasons.
Yeah, like, come on.
Start stealing that from you.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, man. Well, I mean, I do.
I do not.
No, because like we have a passion for a thing. This is our thing, right? You love this. I love this.
Yeah.
I also love the background stuff, the putting it all together.
Yeah, you do. But look,
it tickles the brain when I do the click and it does the thing. All right, folks, with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up tonight's episode of Nightwatch. Thank you for joining us. As always, like and subscribe, share it around, and we'll catch you on the next shift.
Amen.
All right, time to empty out the mop bucket, run the trash, and hit the lights. Go get off my time clock and be safe getting home.